you're at a restaurant for lunch. The first thing you do is order a drink. Your waitress brings over your ice cold Coke, and what's the next thing that she immediately does? She sets down a plastic straw right next to you. Did you know that 500 million plastic straws are used every single day? However, the problem is, plastic straws are extremely detrimental to not only our atmosphere, but to our oceans as well. After doing extensive research on this topic, I found out the many damages that plastic straws can cause. And I understand how convenient that having a straw in your drink can be, because I used to take advantage of them as well. But once I learned the effects that they have, I changed my mind immediately. As an American, you probably use a plastic straw at least once a day. But I bet you didn't know that European countries don't take part in the use of straws. America is the #1 usage of plastic straws out of all the countries. Although it is a luxury, plastic straws have extremely negative effects on our environment. Can you believe that you are taking part in the destruction of our planet? This issue is extremely important because it will have major impacts on people and Earth as a whole. The reports of plastic in our oceans are very real, and they are contributing to global warming, and inevitably that affects everybody. But what if I told you that there are small changes that you can make that will make a larger change in our world? We will discuss the many alternatives to straws and why you should use them. Straws are harmful not only to the atmosphere and the oceans, but our wildlife as well. You may think that recycling and transitioning to biodegradable plastic would be a perfect solution, but I will explain the many reasons why that isn't true. There are an abundance of things that harm the planet, but there's one that just tops the charts in multiple ways. In the span of all the plastic in the ocean, plastic straws are one of the commonly found and have the most adverse effects on our marine life and our sea life. As you can see here, this is pollution from our oceans due to straws and other plastic items. In 2050, 99% of all seabirds will have ingested plastic. The mortality rates of these animals has increased up to 50% already. Marine life is majorly affected by this pollution. Marine animals often mistake plastic as food and they ingest them, and these ingestions can cause blockages in their stomachs. And these blockages can lead to lack of nutrients, which end up leading to starvation of these animals. And by the works of the food chain, if the predator is eating the prey and the prey has eaten plastic, that means that the predator has eaten plastic as well. When plastic is littered, the entire food chain is affected. And this imbalance of the food chain can be dangerous for everybody. There was a study at University of Georgia, and the results showed that every single turtle involved has ingested plastic or microparticles of plastic that have been broken down. A lot of our wildlife is becoming endangered due to this issue, and unless we do something about it, it's going to become serious quickly. Plastic straws are not essential to life, and they're not needed to survive. So this pollution could be avoided by just diminishing the use of straws altogether. There are so many healthy alternatives that you can use, and there are great ways to convenience yourself without inconveniencing the environment. And it's a myth that compostable straws are any better than plastic straws. They decompose just as slowly, and they're not any better for the environment either. They have the same detriment as plastic straws. Companies are creating all different types of straws that you can use, from bamboo to glass and even metal. You can choose your preference, but it's very important that this change happens now, and the use of straws is decreased majorly. This needs to happen in order to save our planet, and our planet needs to survive and thrive, so this is why we need to do this. You may think that transitioning to biodegradable plastic is a better solution, but there are significant drawbacks to this theory. Although there are recycling machines, they're so large that plastic straws and other small plastics often fall through the crevices, and they don't even get recycled at all. And as you know, all drains lead to the ocean, so any plastic straws that went through the cracks end up in the oceans. It's safe to say that straws are not easily recycled. There is plastic that is biodegradable, but even then, it takes 200 years to break down. And after 200 years, the plastic that isn't broken down becomes microparticles that never can be broken down. If you have ever used or use plastic straws, there is a good chance that one or more has ended up in our precious oceans. Plastic straws have become a serious issue in today's news. It's important to spread the knowledge of how catastrophic this material can be. Recycling can only help so much, so switching to an alternative is the most useful way to save our planet and wildlife and environment. There are many ways to take care of this plastic issue, but is it really ever resolved? The only true way to save our planet is to make a serious change right now. Thank you.